It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah. It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah!
Oh. Ooh. What's going on? I'm Scott.
And I'm Bill.
And this is
the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show.
Epi number 86. Thank you for tuning in. Here we are back at it.
I got a delicious chocolate shake from a company that I'm not going to show the logo.
Definitely
but
looks chocolate.
Look at this chocolate. Look at how chocolate
no doubt
this is.
about that. What a chocolate shake.
Anyway.
Well, okay, so there's a lot going on. Beyonce allegedly changing her email address like a lot. We got this Meek Mill update going on. We got a great question to ask you. Plus, we got to talk to you about Flannel Gang. Mm-hmm. This is all coming up.
Stay tuned.
So Beyonce allegedly is changing her email address every single week here.
Yes.
Why would you go about changing your email address every single week?
Let's dive into the nitty-gritty of the details here, shall we?
Shall we? Yes, we shall.
All right, so the reason we know this is because of Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran, back in September, started recording a duet of his new song, Perfect, which if you've listened to it, very beautiful song, very romantic, all the kinds of things you can't actually say to girls or else they'll run away. And they started recording this duet, and he had no other way to get in touch with her than by way of email. But the problem was, for old Eddie, young Eddie, Young ED.
Oh.
I guess you can't say that because that means that's a performance disorder. But anyway. I tried too hard on that one. Okay. Anyway, sorry. So where was I? Oh yeah. The only way he had to get in touch with her was email, but she changes her email every week. Why? Presumably for online security. You know how many of these stars, particularly female stars, get their emails hacked and their nudie pictures posted for the entire world to see.
Quite often.
What's a way to make sure that doesn't happen? Change your email every week. A little excessive in my opinion. Excuse me. Oh, that chocolate shake's just coming right back up.
Why wouldn't you just change your email or your password? If it's an email address that's only for exclusive people. Oh, there's the famous mug.
I guess.
All I have to say is do your job, which the Patriots did yesterday. How about those Buffalo Bills? Pretty lame.
Oh.
And the Giants, too, even worse.
Yeah.
Poor Eli Manning. He'll be playing again next week after the coach gets fired today.
I started him on my fantasy team in
hot
protest.
take right there from G-Dog.
Oh, how about those Eagles, too? Wow.
Oh, wow. We got that football slander going on right now. Ed Sheeran. He exposed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Beyonce, there's really not much there. Beyonce basically changes her email address every week.
What I say,
she's so cool to do so. Just
what
change
I
your
say
password.
Is this. All right, I have enough trouble keeping track of all the emails and passwords associated with all of my online accounts. So when I log on to something that I haven't been on in a couple months, I usually don't remember the password. Because, every site makes you do a unique password with, X number of capitals, X number of characters, X number of letters and symbols. And you're like, you can't just keep the same password for everything. Not that it's necessarily smart to do so in the first place. But I just usually, because of that, I end up just clicking, I forgot my password. Reset it. How are you going to reset your password every time you go online if you use a different email?
Maybe that's why. Maybe Beyonce has a bad memory. Maybe she's already going senile, so she doesn't even realize she... Well, here's my thing, right? So every week, if I'm on this Beyonce email chain, right? Let's just say I'm young Guru, who's like a producer for Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? Guru. So let's say I'm Guru here. Do I get a new email every week, like Monday morning at 8 a.m.? Do I get a little ding and it says, oh, hi, this is Beyonce's new email. Bay the Queen 82.
You think she has an email blast set up? She probably does.
Yeah, I don't want to.
So she can just send a new here's this week's email, or she maybe just.
And that's how she
people
weeds
she
out
really
people
knows.
every week because maybe she don't have a phone.
Ooh.
Because
does Beyonce have a phone?
I've never seen her with a phone.
That's a good question. That's a hard-hitting
Has anybody
journalism
ever seen
topic.
Beyonce holding a phone?
If you've ever seen Beyonce with a phone, put it in the comments.
And she made that song Telephone to throw us off, to make us think she actually has a phone, but she doesn't have a phone.
Okay, where is it? Can you hit us? Can you hit us?
Stay woke. Stay woke, people.
That's it.
Stay woke. So Meek Mill, he's been in this ongoing legal battle for years that goes back to some weapons case and all this stuff 10 years ago.
2008.
he's been having a battle with a judge, because he recently got like in trouble for riding his dirt bike in like this fight, but those charges were dropped and everything. Well, anyways, he had to go show up in front of the judge, and he had to do a hearing about, violating his probation. Well, the judge decided that he absolutely violated it, even though I guess the DA and everybody recommended there be no, time or whatever. She ended up giving him what, 2 to 3 years in jail? 2 to 4 years in jail. So now the judge was ordered, like there was all this big case about all the judges being unfair, and the judge was ordered to re-rule on it. Well, the judge has now shut down the bail request Meek Mill has had. But this sounds sketchy. There's a lot of sketchiness in it.
I want to read you this direct quote from hard-hitting news source, TMZ, Fair and Balanced, TMZ.
Oh, I got it right here for
CNN?
you.
Oh, you got it. You printed it. Look at this. Look at using this 20th century technology.
Top one.
There it is. Okay. It says, well, you can read. You did all the work here. I'll let you read it.
Well, you can read.
All right. You want me to read?
Yeah.
I'll do the reading.
I don't want to read.
All right. The violation is tied to Meek's 2008 conviction, blah, 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 blah. There's a big move to free Meek on the grounds the judge was biased against Meek when he would not change managers or give Judge Brinkley a shout-out in a Boys to Men song.
Yeah.
So Meek had a feature in this song and wouldn't shout the judge out. Is this a woman judge?
Yeah, she's a woman.
So she threw the book at him.
Yeah, she wanted Meek to allegedly redo Boys to Men's I'm Bending Knee.
Okay.
And then in it, shout her out.
Oh, she wanted him to cover it? And
yeah. And then she also, the whole signing thing, allegedly, she wanted Meek to sign to one of her, friends who has, a small little startup record label.
Give him some clout.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of being with Rock Nation, which is arguably one of the biggest record deal, whatever. I don't even know what Rock Nation really is. Are they even a label?
Yeah.
Are they? Or are they I don't know what they technically call themselves.
A
but why would you
conglomerate of
want to
some sort.
leave Rock Nation to go to Lil Philly Circle Records?
I'm going to tell you something about this judge. She's a clown. All right, that's a clown judge. I don't even like Meek Mill that much, but, you're going to try to get somebody to give you a shout-out in a feature and sign to your boy's label, and then when he doesn't, you blackmail him with the long arm of the law? That does not fly in my court.
Now, should she possibly be investigated and if found guilty, go to jail?
Yes.
For
2 to 4 years.
If she did this to him, how many other people's lives has she messed with?
Exactly.
If
you
she's
can't
so
have people
willingly
like that in the justice system.
That's crazy.
Even though you do all over the place.
You got some gonads to be like, yo, shout me out in a song. Come on, damn.
I was not expecting to hear the word gonads in today's Cubicle Show, but there you have it.
I didn't know how to properly say that, and that seemed censored, but not fully censored.
Yeah, that's scientifically accurate. You got those reproductive organs to pull it off.
Yeah. Back to the ED comment from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So Frozen.
Speaking of things that are appropriate for children.
Fully.
All right. The long and short of it is that there was this, if you hadn't heard, there was a Frozen short before the new Pixar movie Coco, which is number 1 at the box office for a second straight week because there were no new wide releases this week. It was really weird. Nothing good came out. Well, nothing came out, period, other than limited releases.
This Coco movie's through the roof. Oh
right.
My
so
God.
The Pixar movie Coco had this Frozen short before it, but it was 22 minutes long because it was originally conceived as a TV special for ABC. Why they didn't put it on ABC, I don't know. Why they decided to stick it in front of a movie without really telling anybody, I also don't know. But a bunch of people complained because with a 22-minute short and all the previews, you're looking at the movie not starting until 40 minutes after its scheduled start time.
At least.
And when you're bringing a lot of kids to this kind of movie, you're going to have a bunch of antsy, squirming kids after 40 minutes watching a Frozen thing they didn't sign up for.
Name a kid that likes to sit still for more than 5 minutes. You can't do it.
But anyway, yeah, so they took it. Disney was like, nope, we're done. We're pulling this. No more Frozen short. So if you wanted to see the Frozen short and it was on your to-do list, you just hadn't gotten around to it, sorry, no dice.
So they didn't put it up on Facebook or?
No, that's the thing is I don't know where it's going. I don't know what they're doing with it. You would think, well, maybe they'll put it on ABC, but then you would also think ABC probably has their holiday programming all blocked out already, unless they do it like the Cubicle Show, where every day they sit down and they go, what are we going to put on TV today?
Yeah, that's probably
what they do.
They were good at managing. That's why TV's failing. They plan too much. instead of just going off of like what feels right and what feels natural,
It'll
just
obviously.
that's
It'll
why
be,
nobody cares about television. That's why YouTube is the new network of networks.
Actually, somebody pointed out the fact that this is a brief aside. Somebody pointed out that the reason YouTube and like brainless content creators are doing so well these days is because you got 4-year-olds and 8-year-olds, like 4-year-olds with tablets, 8-year-olds with phones, all these young children that are just watching these dumb videos, and
This is as dumb as it gets. So
they have way
start
more
watching.
free time. They have way more free time to watch YouTube than anybody who has, is. I don't want to say has half a brain because I don't want to say that kids are stupid, but like they're younger. So like if you got a 4-year-old sitting there just poking at videos on his tablet all day long, whatever engages the 4-year-old mind is what's going to be popular, rather than scintillating content like this.
Ugh, what a time, people!
I should have said
What a
scintillating.
time!
Scintillating means sparkling, stimulating.
Well, I like the sparkling time. So here's the question, right? I don't know this full story because Pete Kelly was telling it. So shout out you, Pete Kelly. But Pete was saying, he's like, oh, what do you got for your Cubicle Show today? I was like, honestly, I really don't know. I haven't really planned that much. I've been doing some other work that is, like, arguably more important than the Cubicle Show, even though I would argue the Cubicle Show is more important than the other work I was doing. But bosses
you gotta
look at it differently.
Yeah, you got to pay your respects here.
I was like, I don't know. And he's like, oh, well, check this out. There's this guy that had a hard drive, right, that ended up getting thrown away over in England. So there's this hard drive in a landfill over in England that has $75 million worth of Bitcoins on it. So when he originally had it, he only had, whatever, we'll just say $1,000 worth of Bitcoins on it. And then through all the inflation over the years and all that, now it's like estimated $75 million worth of Bitcoins. Now, would you devote a portion of your life to go through this landfill and find this hard drive?
No. Because, A, we're talking about a trash treasure hunt here with no map. Right? You have no idea where this could possibly be. Landfills are huge. They're stinky. So you're going to waste a lot of time. You're going to get dirty. And you're probably not going to find it. This is assuming that nobody else has already salvaged this hard drive for other purposes, whether they knew there was Bitcoin on it or not. This is assuming it's still going to work when you plug it in. Now, granted, there are a lot of things you can do to a hard drive to extract data off it, even if it doesn't work anymore. But odds are you're not going to have the means to do that. Plus, how many other hard drives are going to be in this landfill? So let's break it down into a small scale. Let's say you've got 5 old hard drives and none of them work.
Right.
You got to expend all of your resources on every single one of those just for the chance that you could get the $75 million jackpot Bitcoin.
But wouldn't it be worth it, though? It's $75 million.
No, because at the end of the day, you still might not have found it. If you find the $75 million, yeah, I would say probably any amount of time and effort you put into that is worth it. But the possibility of it is so low, I wouldn't even think about it.
What if you were told that it's in this landfill, it's definitely in this dump, but there's 100 acres you got to explore?
Yeah, no. I was assuming we knew which landfill it was.
I don't think they know exactly which one.
This could be anywhere. Jeez.
It's in England. They know a country.
You're looking for a needle in a haystack. You're looking for a Bitcoin in a crap stack.
What's any different than people that go out in the ocean and look for, like, the Titanic or... Well, they found that. But, like,
that's the difference. The Titanic was also way bigger.
But it took them, yeah. But, like, they go and they try to find all these things. Like, okay, Oak Island. You hear Oak Island, that show that's on, like, the History Channel where they're trying to find, like, this old treasure in this, like, island in Canada, British Columbia or something like that. Like, they don't know it's there, but people just spend millions of dollars every year trying to find this, like, treasure. What's different than that and this? Because they're, like, playing around in, like, garbage?
If they're spending millions of dollars to go look for a buried treasure, they already have millions of dollars to spend, and they probably don't have anything better to do
So
with their
millionaires should go look for this.
If you're a millionaire and you want to go look for it for shiggles, then by all means do so. I have
For what?
Shiggles. It's a portmanteau of a word that means fecal matter and giggles. You smash them together and you get shiggles, and you can say it on family-friendly entertainment like this.
Bill, I love his word content. So, all right, so over the weekend, we put together, or over the past, like, week, we put together this video called Flannel Gang.
This is art.
It's art. I'm going to post it in the comments below, so be looking for that. If you want to just scroll down on the Jam's Facebook page, you can scroll down on the Facebook page.
If you're familiar with Lil Pump, Gucci Gang,
Yes.
it's a parody
and
of
it's amazing, and it's so good. It might go top 10, and if it goes top 10, we're gonna have to play it on the radio.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear our voices on the radio.
I can't wait.
I've always wanted to hear my voice on the radio, so that would be really exciting.
I can't wait for G-Dog to like come
Here he
over and
comes.
be like,
Here he
you guys
comes. We
made
summoned
the
him.
best
I
song
never
for
said that we
radio
would
ever.
Play it.
When it goes top 10, you're
You
gonna
got
have
it.
to.
We have to.
You're gonna have to.
You
You're
got to
gonna
give the
deny
people
it
what they want.
when it's top 10 in
never
the
gonna
country.
Go top 10.
You don't think
Oh.
Lil Fall Flannel Gang is gonna go top 10 nationwide?
No.
Damn.
Gee, you're sitting on Bitcoin right now, and it's gonna go up, and you're throwing the hard drive into a dump
That
in
is
the
a
UK.
good. It's definitely
what you're
sitting on
doing,
Bitcoin
John.
right now. We're about to go top 10, baby. So I'm gonna post that in the comments below. You can scroll down, check it out. But we'll play it on the Cubicle Show on Thursday because I'm not gonna. I don't know how to actually play stuff really fully through OBS yet. But I'll learn it, and then we'll play it later in the week on the show. So with that being said, that's it for this today's episode of the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show, Monday through Thursday, 10:30 Eastern Time.
Because that's the only time zone that matters. That's really weird using my left hand here. I'll never do that. Okay.
So until tomorrow. Wait, we gotta do this here and goodbye.
One. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show! That's what I'm talking about, boy! Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah? Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah! Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Not a rectangle show. Not a triangle show. Not a pyramid show. It's a cubicle show. Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah? Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah! Cubicle Show. We're just gonna one. Boy!